Pick a card. What is standing in the way of this connection? Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Crystal with Psychicmd, and I'm here to do another pick a card reading as I drop my lighter. Today, we're going to be looking at what's standing in the way of this connection. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and thank you so much for stopping by. And for those of you that are indeed repeat offenders, thank you so much as well. I realize your time is valuable, and I really appreciate you being here. What is standing in the way of this connection? We'll be looking at the vibe check, the current connection in its state right now, the obstacle, and then the solution. So, pile number one, what's standing in the way of this connection? Okay. 5 of Wands, pile 2, the 9 of Swords, and pile 3, the 9 of Pentacles. Those are radical different cards, huh? So have a look. I'll leave a picture at the end of this intro, and I'll see you at your pile. Please pause if you need more time. Hi, pile 1. My name is Crystal with Psychicmd, and I'm here to do your pick a card reading. For those of you that missed it, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And for those of you that are repeat offenders, thank you so much for stopping by. We're going to go ahead and take a peek at what is standing in the way of this connection. But first, I want to get the current vibe. What is going on for pile number 1? Don't forget to check out my community tab where I do have a June 2024 drawing. Last day of entry is going to be June 29th. Go ahead and look for my last post and type in I am the change. What is going on? What is standing in the way of this connection? Vibe check, please. Okay, so there's been an ending. A definite ending right here. There's been a lot of drama, a lot of fighting. That's the current vibe of what is going on. Yeah, ending. I mean, there's no other way to put it. If this doesn't resonate with your situation, then this definitely would not be your reading. I'm going to say that there's been some betrayals going on. Maybe perhaps you were in the dark about some things, and they are coming to light. Could be people texting each other, talking about you. It could be just a ton of drama, like people jockeying for attention, for affection. Standing on yellow right here, to me, that is about your solar plexus. So it could have something to do with something that you held very near and dear to your heart, something that is your passion. It could be a passion project. It could be, I heard, your livelihood. But for whatever reason, people are just all in the mix, and yeah, lots of drama. So major endings. 5 of Swords, you could have been blindsided by this. You could have been lied to. With this stormy situation with the wind carrying these clouds, it appears to be like very fast moving. Everything happened super fast, and the betrayal went deep. I'm going to say with this that you didn't see it coming. With the 5 of Swords right here, it's always an indication that somebody just wanted their way, and it didn't matter how they were going to win. They were going to win. There could have been a lot of underhanded things going on. This person's wearing almost like a lab coat. I guess I never really noticed that before. And some shoes. Maybe they like to wear shoes that are similar to this. But this person likes victory and prizes victory above all else. It's like it's my way and the highway. So my way, and I'll show you the highway kind of a thing. It doesn't look good at all. So the current situation right here, you are definitely suffering. I'm going to say it's been very painful. It's been very dramatic as well. And now you're in this position right here where actually I'm taking these two right here. So you're in the 7 of Pentacles. You are definitely making an assessment. Was that even worth my time, my energy, my time, devotion? With the 7 of Pentacles, this is somebody who is a perpetual gardener. Like they really take their time. They're looking into things. They're putting their heart, money, soul into it. They're looking at what type of soil they're using. Do we need the topsoil? Do they need mulch? They want to make this project grow or whatever this is. And for whatever reason, this is like, you know, being on the outside looking in, being left out in the cold. This is maybe monetary loss as well for you. So, I mean, that is brutal. So let's see what else we can get from this. Well, anyways, you know exactly where you're at. If this resonates again, then stick around because we would like to know. I don't know. That's pretty clear. Like that is ending, right? But, and the whole purpose of being here, initially my intent was what's standing away this connection. But I don't even think that you would want this connection back, or, I don't know, let's look. What's standing in the way of this connection, please? What's standing in the way of this connection? Maybe we need to explore the why, it feels like. Okay. 8 of Wands. Fast communication, jumping on their bike, and it's like, I'll be there in 2 minutes, and you're like, what? Yep, I'm gonna roll up on you. So we're taking all these 3. So looks right here like somebody just wanted to take a chance. Somebody wanted to act a fool. Okay, it could have been a foolish choice made, or something that transpired that this dog was trying to warn them, hey, don't jump over the ledge, or at least, do you have your parachute, friend, with your gladiator strappy shoes, right? So you could have had a warning, like maybe this wasn't the best way to handle it, but I feel like you were looking for things to improve or things to change. And now you are currently looking to see what ships are going to come in for you. Back in the day, and it's still true, I guess, because we still do the trade in addition to the lab grown everything nowadays. I'm just going to say that, you know, you're waiting for your ships to come in. You are in a pause. And it's a time to really kind of reflect and look and see what is out there for you. It might take a little bit for you, but I feel like you're also going to get a small offer right here. And this could be from somebody who is maybe younger than you. Somebody who likes to wear space buns, perhaps. But she has her hand behind her back. That's kind of interesting to me. I don't know if this is like maybe even a small apology from somebody who was involved in all that initial fighting and drama and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to say I don't really care for that energy because her hand's behind her back. I mean, why are you not showing all of your hands like you have a bunch of them? Well, you get the point. Pile number 1. Anyway, so you're definitely waiting for things, waiting for ships to come in. It is going to be a time for you to take a leap of faith right now. And I do feel like you have answers coming to you quickly. That is here as well. So let's see what else we need to know. What's standing in the way of this? I feel like for you, it's more of a situation, but I titled it, What's Standing in the Way is Connection. What's standing in the way for pile number 1? This situation. It's like you have a lot going on here. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay, things are going to be changing for the better for sure. I feel like you're going to be sitting pretty here. Remember that everything that goes up must come down and vice versa. So the clouds are parting. I feel like the clouds are parting right here. You're going to get clear and direct communication. It's going to really help compel you forward. With the motorcycle right here, I feel like this is kind of a nod to the Chariot, right? And the Chariot is almost like the seat of the soul. This is like how we make movement. This is how we really align our positive and negative polarities, everything that we believe, what we feel, what we desire, and things like that. We're not like hitching it to the same horse necessarily, but we're definitely in alignment currently. And I feel like this is served to be a realignment of sorts for you. Something about the way that things were going before was not in alignment with your destiny, with your truth, and with who you are. And that has cleared up, even if it served to be a very tough clearing, right? Like a storm that came and just swept everything away. It did serve a purpose to clear everything up. And now you're able to take a look at things and choose for yourself things that are a lot more balanced, a lot more hopeful. I'm looking at this pink tarp behind her, or like a blanket. And I feel like this is going to be something to do with like love, like with your passion project again, or something. You want something to be equitable and you're willing to cut off anything that isn't balanced. And I really feel like this is a place of empowerment for you. Now, it's interesting that I never really noticed before where she's sitting on the bench. That's like super dark. So it's like you don't really understand where you're sitting, or maybe perhaps you're not understanding in the future where you're going to be sitting. And this could look like a lot of different ways. It's like, well, I know that I'm balanced and I'm looking for a certain thing. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I know that I will cut off everything that throws me off of balance mentally, emotionally, spiritually. This includes anything that has to do, by the way, with like physical things like hormones or mental, emotional situations and things like that. But she's sitting on this little bench and you can't really see anything. I mean, it's way darker than what you would think a bench would be in this situation. I mean, you can't even see the back of the backdrop, nothing. It's just dark in here. And it's like you could be sitting a little bit in a dark place, but having clear view of what you do want. And I think that's still going to be a really good position, because sometimes things grow out of the darkness, like out of the dirt and things like that. You're going to get your little sprouts and your little maple trees growing up and your little oak trees growing up into being something that's bigger and beautiful and has seasons of its own as well. 10 of Cups, yay. Okay, so what's standing in the way of your connection? I feel like you were just out of alignment and things got cleared up for you. And I really hate when people say this happened for you, not to you. I want to kick people when they say that, but here I am saying it. Please don't kick me. I do understand that that's not, you know, what we want to hear sometimes, especially when we're undergoing difficulties. I just happened to look down at my phone, and because I'm recording on my phone, and it's a 10:10. So I feel like two major endings, two major things that just kind of wrapped it all up for you. What are the positive things that we need to take out of this? The solution, the help, the light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, just kidding. The age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So depending on where you sit with it, you know, entire reincarnation thing, I'm not necessarily here to talk about that. That's your own personal belief. But I am going to say that I'm looking at the light bending around her and her forming like a triangle. And I'm not thinking about the whole Illuminati thing, you know. I mean, I would never, not like a conspiracy theorist or anything. But listen, I feel like with the triangle right here, this is really talking about how the strongest structure is a triangle, and how you can take that however, like Father, Son, Holy Spirit, you know. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can look into it, but I feel like you are finding your balance in your strength, in your structure, and even the pillars of strength and people that will hold space for you. So I think this is really beautiful. And you're coming into the age of light where things are coming out from the darkness and they're being exposed for you. And I think that a lot of revelations also, look at the pink behind that kind of imitates a backdrop that lady was sitting on in the Justice. Also, this could have some Libra vibes. Somebody who is a Libra can have significant input or effect on your life. Not necessarily, but, or somebody who is fair, very balanced. The solution here for pile number 1, please. Don't forget to please like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, my Etsy store is open. I can't even talk. Etsy is open. So I do have a few readings up. If you'd like to purchase them, you'd have to go to that link in the description box below. The solution. Oh, good, because I was hoping for 2 cards here. The Great Gathering and the Ever Unfolding Rose. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits and Soul Tribe. So, dear one, I'm going to say this has been an incredibly difficult time for you. And I just want to give you a big hug. I mean, I feel like we've all kind of been there at one point or another. And I know it seems really, really dark and painful at this point in time, but you don't need people and things that are not aligned to you anyways, because look at what you have. I feel like you're going to start feeling how cosmic everything really is, how spirit pulls everything together for you, and you're starting to rely more upon things that are unseen, more upon the intangible, and you're starting to see first of all, I'm going to say that you're starting to see the repercussions of relying on everything that you saw with your eyes to begin with. But On the flip side of that, you're starting to see the benefits of how people can hold space and how it is a great gathering, how your ancestors and, you know, if you believe in God and spirit and all that is really here for you, rallying for you, trying to really open up your mind and your heart towards things. You could be even taking a trip somewhere on the mountains, or like this to me feels like Sedona vibes. If you're from the US, that would be Arizona. So I don't know. There's a lot of different monuments I'm not familiar with, and I'm not going to fake believe this funk. So keeping it moving here. The ever unfolding rose cracked open. It is happening for you, not to you. Ah! Did we not talk about this before? Okay, anyways, so yeah, but look at this. So this beautiful woman, she is looking at the rose, and it is definitely like she's been cracked open, right? And then we see all of this beautiful pink sand, and yeah, it's gorgeous, but it's sand. We'd be thinking hot, we'd be thinking dry, and not the best. Also, these pillars can feel a little bit like the Colosseum when they would throw the Christians in there and that whole thing. But anyways, that's a whole side note. It just, I feel like you're coming to terms and coming to peace with what transpired. And I feel like in a lot of ways you could feel like a sacrificial lamb, but I definitely want you to see that right in front of you are beautiful rose petals, and rose maintains your youth, your vitality. It is a symbol of hope. With the pink, I feel like it is a symbol of love. I just want you to take away, if nothing else from this, that the universe, God, spirit, your guides, the people that are rallying for you really do love you. And it's with the purity. This isn't like eros, like a sexual love. Nothing wrong with that, but I feel like you need that love and that support and that encouragement, and it is here for you. Literally like right in front of your face, even though you're only able to see at the time maybe doors and obstacles and things like that. I just want to encourage you to open up a little bit more, because you're standing in the sea of emotion right now, but you have a lot of things going for you. And I feel like the more fluid that you are, the more less resistant, the less focused on things that are no longer in your life, the easier it's going to be for you. I feel also that you could be somebody who is downloading your own light codes. When I look at this once again, and I'm looking at the background, so you could be somebody who's like moon gazing, star gazing, sun gazing. You could be out in nature a little bit more than you typically are, but especially I feel like you musing during the nighttime, looking at the sky and kind of asking for answers. And I'm just going to say, go ahead and ask out loud and ask your ancestors to help, and any spiritual being that you are really connected with, again, to really help you, to guide your way, and to help you keep that emotional stability, because I feel like you are definitely protected right now. Anything else that we need to know? Last things that we need to know for pile 1. The sun. What? Just kidding. The sun is the all-time, like the best card in the entire deck, right? Lit, happiness, success, high vibration leader, truth, self-love, inspiration, and creativity. So maybe it might be you need to get a little bit more into the creative side of you, of maybe playing with colors, of painting, of doing something simply for the sake of doing, for existing, for the sake of enjoying. You were created to really have an experience and not be just so stressed and so pressed by other people's dramas and decisions and things like that. So there's a little bit of fun to be had. Have a little bit of fun, because I feel like that will really relax you in order to welcome in energies that really belong to you, so that you can continue moving forward. It's not necessarily all about the movement that you can see. Keep in mind that there's so many different subtleties and hidden things that you're not aware of on the positive for you. Because keep in mind, for every negative, there's always a positive. When one door closes, you got 5 that open, okay? So that's what I have for you. Much, much love to you. Until we meet again, namaste. Hi, pal 2. My name is Crystal with Psychicmd, and I'm here to do your reading. For those of you new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping in. Welcome. And for those of you that are indeed repeat offenders, thank you so much for showing back up. All of you are appreciated. What is standing in the way of this connection? We're going to get a vibe check to tap in and see what's going on. What's standing in the way of this connection? For pile number 2. Okay. Okay, so things have been a little bit rough, and maybe perhaps this is other people getting, well, I don't know. I feel like this side would be yours. I feel like maybe you're being celebrated more than other people. You're being recognized more than other people. And it's causing distress or stress because there's a lack of understanding that perhaps if this is a partnership, that both people have done a lot of work on it. Or if this is a passion project, or if this is a job situation, a lot of it has to do with like collaborative energy, but you're the one, I don't want to say taking credit for it, but you're the one being acknowledged and celebrated. And something about that is really stressing people out. And it could be that you're telling me, well, it's not my fault if people look at me and go, wow, great job. Maybe you're the one that signs off on the deal. Maybe if this is like a sales thing, you wind up having a whole bunch of sales, but there's a lot of cogs moving in order to make that one sale happen. That really could be acknowledged and brought into the limelight as well. I don't know why I said limelight, but I feel like there's a person here who is incredibly burnt out, exhausted. They're barely able to put one foot in front of the other. I don't know why I'm hearing music in my head. But anyways, let's see what else is going on. Let's get some more clarity. What's standing in the way of this connection, please? Oh, yeah, so things are turning up, and maybe perhaps things are turning up a lot better for you than this person. Maybe they're putting in long hours as well, or they feel like they deserve. I'm all that part of the pie. So there seems to be a radical imbalance on who's being acknowledged and who's not. And maybe perhaps you're both putting in a lot of work. What's standing in the way is this connection, please? Vibe check for pile number 2. What's standing in the way of this connection? Why is the Ten of Wands here? So this could be the King of Swords, somebody who's incredibly intelligent. I feel like this would be a supervisor, or it could be a third party, but somebody who's really quick-witted, sharp. They could be very analytical. This could be like lawyer, doctor, surgical tech, anything where you need to go like mind over heart kind of a thing. Yeah, just a lot of logic. And I feel like this person could be maybe adding more burdens to the situation than needs be. There are 3 different things transforming above this person's head. And I feel like maybe perhaps there are 3 things that they can do that could really help balance the situation. What's standing in the way of this connection? Vibe check, please, for pile number 2. Yeah, there's a stalemate. So I feel like this boss or this person doesn't want to change anything. This is how it's going to be done, and that's how it's going to be done. That's the end of the story. And it could have to do with like fortune. I mean, this is like, you know, some people call the Wheel of Fortune fated, like a fate happening. Basically, it was meant to happen. But I'm going to say that there is a stalemate. Like, you're not giving in, they're not giving in, that kind of a thing. And I don't know. Let me see before I say anything further. The Six of Wands. And I look at the bottom of the deck and I have the Sun right here. So it could be that you are largely responsible for the upglow or things going super well. But there's something that's incredibly out of balance. How do you feel about the situation here? Because somebody's pressed and not fun. Okay, you feel like you want to bring clarity. You want things to be like super clear. I feel like you have... you know, and this can stand for your like stability, because she's waving like a red flag right here. This is a root chakra. But look at her little expression. She's all excited, like, hey, this is awesome. And I did, look, mom, no hands, that kind of a thing. With the white horses, we get a lot of freedom. You got 3 white horses right here. So maybe this has to do with your freedom, perception of freedom, and other people feel bogged down. It's like, well, when you're out there doing your thing, I'm having to work behind the scenes, and they're resentful of that. And perhaps this King of Swords sees it as well. But we're going to see where this goes. I feel like, why the Two of Swords here, please? For the vibe check for pile 2. If this is starting to sound familiar, then this is your pile. If not, then feel free to check out any of my other piles, or go ahead and look at a different video. This might just not be your message. Pile number 2. Why is the Two of Swords here? What is this stalemate? I'm not budging. Okay, something that you don't want. So it's like, I don't want that. I don't want that cup. This person appears to be like an inmate. What does that say? Over it. Look, let's getting closer. Okay, so yeah, you're over it. Something about maybe, and perhaps the roles could be flipped. Somebody else is taking a lot of credit or gaining a lot of like, woo, atta girl, atta guy, and you're doing so well. And meanwhile, you're doing all this hard work. You could be the one with the 10 of Wands and you're exhausted and you're not being seen, acknowledged, or addressed whatsoever. And you're completely over it. So with the blue skies right here, you recognize that whenever this person, I feel like it could be the King of Swords right here, is bringing you like a cup, an offering of something, presumably of an emotional nature. You're crossing your arms, crossing your legs, you're probably crossing your toes and fingers too, where you're definitely not having any of that. You're like, you know, your peace offerings mean nothing, because in the end, it winds up being the same-ish. I wind up back doing all the grunt work, all the hard work, and I don't get acknowledged. I don't necessarily feel like this is about, I want more money, more time in the limelight. I want to be, you know, but I feel like this is more about being acknowledged, because half of her is right, her back is right up against the wall. And then you have like that beautiful big glass, it looks like, maybe. So it's like you're in between two worlds in some ways. Yeah. And I feel like you're making a judgment call. And this could have to do with your money, your assets, but a judgment, that makes sense. So what's happening right now is this person feels like they're the only one that could make a judgment call. And they're like, well, the power lies with me. It's my business, my company, that kind of a thing. And they're tickled pink because that's in the position where they've always wanted to be. That's where they always perhaps have been. Although this chair looks mighty uncomfortable. I'm just going to say that. And you, meanwhile, are sitting on the floor and you're like, well, that's all fine and dandy. I wasn't even thinking of a throne. I just want things to be equitable. I just want to be acknowledged. I want to be acknowledged for being human or being part of the cog that makes things work. And I'm just not getting the acknowledgement. I'm not getting the, wow, I see you. It seems to be very much overlooked. And when it is acknowledged, it's like out of the blue. And it doesn't mean anything because this person is unconvinced, okay? Blue lips right here could be like you've spoken about this matter or things that you really would like, some acknowledgement or recognition. You're not even asking for cut of the pie. I don't feel like it's a lot to ask for. I feel like people are stingy with their compliments. That's what I notice about society anyways. I personally, here's a rant, but I personally, if I see somebody wearing something I like, or their shoes or their bag or their hair, or whatever, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really like that. And it cost me $0. Just express that I really like that one thing. And it could really make somebody's day. And I'm always genuine about it. It's like, I really like that. And usually people tell me, oh yeah, this old thing, I got this way back. And it opens up a conversation and they feel good. And it's like, yeah, cool. I was able to help somebody maybe feel a little bit better for their day. It's not a big deal. But I feel like right here, you are definitely making judgment. This is almost like all of these coffins are in the ocean. It's like you're being set in the ocean. And the ocean is vast. And there's so many creepy creatures underneath. Well, I mean, that's a matter of perspective, I guess. That you just don't know what's going on. And I feel like you're making a balanced effort to just take a look in. You know, if everybody's out at sea, does everybody have a paddle? Is everybody equally trying to, you know, row their way together towards somewhere? Is everybody, I mean, all the cogs need to be working together. And I feel like these two are like, hey, we're doing all the work. And these three are back here going, yeah, we're behind the scenes, but don't we count as well? And so the applause is very slow to come. If that's what you're looking for, then I don't know. That could be a problem. It's a problem, okay? It has to do with your money. Let's move these guys here, and we are going to look at the solution. Let's use these cards right here because we can. All right, for pile number 2. Who's standing in the way of this connection? Or what? I'm sorry, what's standing in the way of this connection? Interesting. It could be a person, I guess, who's standing in the way of this connection of you being acknowledged. Maybe they're just like, oh yeah, and then I did this, and oh yeah, and then I did that, and oh yeah, and it's like, oh my goodness. Somebody see through that quickly. Okay, and just as I said that these cards flip, they were in pile number 1 as well. But the Great Gathering is all coming together, intuitive hits, and soul tribe. So I feel like this definitely has to do with like a community. It could be your work, your home. It could be family, things like that. But again, acknowledgement of being celebrated, of being like, wow, because the 6 of Wands, you know, they went through the 5 of Wands, and that was like getting tussled, getting in a tussle, getting in a, you know, I mean, we're going to make this work, and it's been tough, and we're doing this. So it's not been easy. The solution, I feel like there needs to be a gathering of minds all come together. And like part of it is recognizing, and for people, you can't force people to understand that we're all a part of a soul tribe, that we're all trying to work together, even if it is the same business. It seems like there's a lot of jockeying for a position, for attention, and things like that. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. So yeah, this might be like enrolling in, I don't know, some kind of a dance thing. I heard dance club, but how do you enroll in a dance club? I don't even know. That's not a thing, okay? But pile number 2, I feel like this is, you know, change something in your energy. Maybe take some belly dancing lessons, or movement, or flow, or some kind of like tantric dancing. I don't know what's out there. I'm just going to say there's a need to do that in order to feel like you are part of, like, get your energy moving. Because I feel there's something of a stagnant energy going on. Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. And the priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? Well, interesting, because I feel like I was really concerned with the balance of candles in the back being seen by the cards. And then I'm like, yep, that card doesn't belong. It's not like balanced, right? But I feel like you are somebody who tries to bring balance and order into things, even if people don't initially think that that's what you're attempting to do. People can think that you're trying to gain credit for the sake of credit. Why? Because they come from their own frame of reference. We're not all built the same. And that's a good thing. But sometimes that's a pain, and that, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I'm going to say follow your intuition. Whatever is veiled and covered is going to be revealed. Look at her hands. I feel like that's glowing. Just very much like the 2 candles back there. It's just maintaining balance. And this is a portal. So I feel like you are gaining a lot of wisdom and insight in how to address issues like this. And maybe perhaps you've uncovered. Yeah, you've uncovered this as a cycle before. And maybe you're missing a little bit of the top part, like how things actually come into fruition in your life to where you're in this position. Once again, things are a little bit out of balance and people are not working as a community. Well, it's very typical to have people that are in competitive energy versus cooperative energy. It's going to be very, very important for you to see what part you're playing in this. And as I say that, I'm almost looking at this guy right here and his little smile. It's like, yep, you're getting it. Okay, I'm trying. Listen. Pile number 2. Before I forget, don't forget to go to my community tab and look for the June 2024 drawing, and go ahead and type in on my last post, I am the change. Your last chance at the drawing or the giveaway is going to be on June 29th. At that point, I'll make a random drawing with a generator. Now that I actually know how to record from my phone, is that old or what? Yeah, whatever. But anyways, I'm going to record it and post it so that y'all can see that there is no weirdness going on behind the scenes. It's just randomly picked by generator. And you'll have a chance to win a 30-minute read with yours truly. Also, my Etsy store is open. The details are in the description box below. Pile number 2, I feel like you are finally putting the puzzles together. You are seeing the game for what it is. And I don't want to say that this is like a game between like spirit and you and things like that, but I feel like you are incredibly intuitive. You're a high priestess. You could be very fierce. I feel like you have a lot of spiritual animals also always coming into, I don't know, into like your vision, your perception. They're coming to your rescue. They communicate a lot of things in a lot of different ways. Now I'm also seeing like in my mind's eye, a cheetah. So you have the ability to tap into that cheetah energy also and have your balance. And no matter how hectic and wild that things are, right? I picture like a bus cantering. Is it cantering down the street? Like almost like ready to crash, and that tail of the cheetah keeps you balanced. You're like, yep, we're going super fast, feel out of control, but this tail is keeping me grounded. Similarly, I feel like you have winged beings like little insects, and it could be butterflies. I'm also seeing a turtle. I feel like you're in communion with a lot of animal spirits, which is really interesting. I've never gotten that before. Of course, we have the snake on our head. I am not a snake person, but I can appreciate the symbology of it. So a lot of regenerative energy, a lot of shedding of the skin, a lot of changes for you, a lot of transformational power. And I feel like you carry that within you. One thing that you're going to start seeing is people as a community, like a great gathering, and how everyone is coming from their own wounded point of view. And I think that you're looking at things from a very high perspective. And I love this for you, pile number 2. This is super exciting. Now you're missing a tiny little piece of the puzzle. And I feel like that's about to be revealed for you very, very soon. Insects, again, could be some winged friends for you. They could mean a lot for you. The other day I saw a big old, at a friend's house, a big old winged ant. Somebody said it was a termite. I don't know what it is, but it was kind of frightening because it was big. I'm a sissy. But anyways, yeah, so all of those things could be really having meanings to you. What else? I feel like with the white, it's almost like a wet lapel. I had one of these, not surprising, once upon a time. I may have it scrolled away somewhere. Anyways, it's like a necklace, but it's made out of cloth, and it was actually pretty cool. So I feel like this is stating that really when you communicate, because the throat chakra, what was that? A motorcycle? Okay. Or thunder, I'm not sure. One of the two. I'm going to say that this is your ability to communicate. So when you communicate, make sure that you are communicating from a higher perspective, from a point of balance, from a point of like you are the high priest or the high priestess. And even if you don't think that you have all of the knowledge, tune in and tap in, because you actually do have the knowledge. This is she who knows. And I love the fact that your mind is focused on higher aspects of things in order to bring community, in order to create heaven on earth. Do I think that that's possible? I personally don't, but I mean, I feel like we can improve things in a radical way. And I think that you're opening up people's eyes in a radical way to get closer to that communal thinking. Like, we're all in it. We're all cogs working together. And let's just do for the benefit of all. Soul family. Yeah, that just feels very much like recognizing your soul family and doing your part to really lift one another up and even show people this. Because I feel like you gain, you give people like the wisdom or the epiphanies, and you're like, what? I mean, can I affect people like this? You definitely do, simply by being you and by living the way you do. I feel like people will start mirroring you. But also you will start imitating and mirroring people that have a similar vision as you, and therefore you guys continue elevating and lifting each other up. And I think that's very beautiful. I feel like there is a time to play as well. Make sure that you get some play. Even in the workplace, there has to be a time to just like laugh and be silly and just kind of get all that out, because they say laughter is the best medicine of all. I'm inclined to agree. And so I feel like even breathing in pink, if you work with color, with energy and things like that, that is going to help you to be a little bit softer, a little bit less rigid, and a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more in the flow with what's going on and how things should be, in order for you to really have it easier and not feel so burdened and so unencumbered, and for other people to be able to join that. I feel like the effect that you have on people around you actually can create almost like an Eden in your workplace, in your community, in your home, with your family, all of it. So it really depends on what we are talking about and what it is that you are currently focused on. If this reading makes sense to you, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm definitely interested in what you have to say if this resonated with you. Otherwise, I will see you at your next reading. Much love to you until we meet again. Namaste. Hi, pile number 3. My name is Crystal with Psychicmd, and I'm here to do your reading. Thank you so much if you are a new subscriber. And if you're a repeat offender, thank you so much for stopping by once more. I really do appreciate all of you. I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell for additional good juju in 3, 2, 1. That was anticlimactic, but here we are. So, what is standing in the way of this connection? Let's go ahead and do the vibe check. You chose the Nine of Pentacles, which is quite intriguing for me. What is standing in the way of this connection for pile number 3? I wound up waiting about a day and a half before I started shooting this again. What is standing in the way of this connection? I just heard a very high-speed motorcycle. Maybe not high speed, but they were in high gear. So maybe this connection went really, really fast. What's standing in the way could be an apology. It could be a child. It could be a little bit of a childlike energy. You need to grow up. We're going to see shortly. One moment, please. There. I think I just want to move this heel and heel. Okay, so there could be a big difference between like the has and have not. Something to that effect as well. What is standing in the way of this connection? This is the vibe check for pile number 3. This whole thing, I guess we're taking it. That's a big vibe check. Okay, so I'm going to say this situation requires a lot of information. We got all these jumps. We're going to go ahead and gain some clarity. So I was holding this connection back. What's standing in the way is a lack of balance. I do feel like you have a guardian angel. I do feel like they have a guardian angel as well, maybe even several. But there's a need to put things into balance. I feel like things have been very, I heard dualistic, but I'm looking at this long road that has been traveled, presumably behind the angel right here, and the sun coming up. And I think that that's alluding to you guys have like history, and maybe it was tumultuous and people had walls up, and there is a need for balance. Now, this can allude to things like substance abuse, any form of addiction, really, but there is a need for an apology right here. And I'm hearing, you know, follow the yellow brick road. How can you not hear that with this little boardwalk here? Okay, 8 of Wands. So hearing the motorcycle at the entry, you saw it here first. So I feel like this connection maybe was like hot and heavy and maybe perhaps immature initially. I'm looking at how she has her hand behind her back. So this apology, this thing, whatever this thing is, if indeed it was an apology, I don't feel like they really came towards you and gave you the clarity that you needed, the truth, or a real apology. I just kind of felt like it was glossed over. It was very immature energy. It was like, yeah, I'm so sorry about that, but I'm older now and I'm wiser now. Let's keep it moving, that kind of a thing. Even if you've gotten that apology, what's standing in the way is maybe even a lack of apology. I think I said that. And with the pink cup, I feel like it has to do with emotion, with giving you validation for your emotions. Yeah, the 8 of Wands, it's like maybe coming towards you too chaotically, or when you guys would meet, it was just too chaotic, too fast, that kind of a thing. But the 9 of Pentacles here, I almost said también, so this person could be maybe of a different culture or speak 2 different languages or understand 2 different languages. Not necessarily, but could be. It could be Latino. We've got the Ace of Swords. So this person wants to bring you clarity, and almost like even the way that the sword is being held. Now, obviously the sword has some weight to it. You're going to have to like brace it. But the way that this is shining right here, I feel like it's almost like a fist. It's like, here, you want clarity? Here's the clarity. So you could have had a lot of communication back and forth that was harsh. Maybe that was incomplete, especially with the hand behind your back, things like that. And I feel like what's standing in the way of this connection is full clarity, full transparency. If they want to proceed and move forward, or if they want to continue some sort of relationship with you, they have to own their biznatch. Even Coco says so. So I think that that's, you know, part of it. And then with this terrain, and now it's pink, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking maybe this has to do with like your history of your love life. And it could have been, if it was a love connection, then they need to really come clean about what transpired, because I'm feeling separation. I'm feeling lack of clarity. And if it's not, then you guys can be living in the same house and totally feel alienated from one another, and it still pertains to you. Okay. So one more. Okay, the King of Cups. I feel like this person does want to bring you. I heard validity. They want to bring you clarity. And hopefully they're going to do it in not an aggressive manner, because I feel like there's some frustration affiliated with that. It's like, so you want clarity? Here's your clarity. Dang it. That kind of a thing. Pile number 3, not like I've ever communicated immaturely in my entire life. Okay, keeping it moving. Yeah, so a need for a balance. Now, that, I'm going to conclude that for your vibe check. I'm leaving out the Pentacles right here. And let's just leave out that card as well, simply because we can. Pile number 3, what do we have for the... We're going to find out. What is standing in the way of this connection? So we saw a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of emotion, a lot of hiding emotion, hiding the fact that maybe somebody want to be single, or somebody is single, or not ready to really give up their freedom. And guys, you know better than I do, but you don't necessarily have to give up your freedom if you're in a partnership with someone. Now, you know, there's things about mutual respect and things like that, but this person can view relationships as like the good old ball and chain. Do we want the good old ball and chain? Probably not. That kind of a thing. And I'm like, wow, that's archaic, but you know, whatever works. That might have something to do that you're gonna have to contend with, though. And I'm looking at the blue on her legs, and then the blue bird right here. Typically this was a falcon. I don't know what kind of blue bird that is. You want to see it close? Yeah, just kidding. Yeah, I have no idea what kind of bird that is, but I'm gonna say that you've been busy toiling and gardening and doing your own thing. And really, when we say tending to your own garden, most of you guys know what that is. You've been watching readings for a long time now, but you're watching what grows. You're really tending to things that matter to you, planting seedlings, weeding, getting rid of things that just don't work for you any longer, that isn't profitable, that isn't peaceful, that isn't helpful, that kind of a thing. So I feel like that's what we're talking about here, okay? With a yellow sun, I feel also that this alludes to potentially you following your own desire, like you following what makes you happy, your true north, if you will. Okay, so the solution. Pile number 3, not dissolution, simply because I can't talk sometimes, but the solution. Le solution. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, these came out. I feel like you guys are probably maybe watching like at least 2 piles in these readings, or maybe you are watching all the piles, which is fine, you know, but definitely remember these are general reads. Take what pertains to you, leave the rest for somebody else. Before I forget, you have a chance to win or to enter into my June 2024 drawing. Go ahead and go to my community tab, and you must be subscribed in order to enter. Type in I am the change. I'm stumbling through my word. I am the change. I am the change. Your last day to enter is going to be June 29th. Okay. Then I will make an announcement on who the winner is for that 30-minute reading. Moving on. So you chose The Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits and Soul Tribe. This is a solution. This is communal thinking, communal living. Now, I don't know why my tongue is not cooperating with me. So maybe it's like throat chakra issues, or yeah, a need for communication. But thinking about the situation as a community, because that alludes to other people involved. And perhaps this is just stating that, hey, you know, it's not just about how you feel, not how they feel, or clearing the air between, but there's a lot of people that have, I'm just looking at his nose. I never noticed it said individuality here. But yeah, it's going to affect a lot of different people. There may be children involved, is what I'm feeling. There could be a third party, which is a karmic partner involved. You at one time, don't be offended, could have been a karmic partner as well. I know, pile number 3, that I have been that karmic partner as well. Unfortunately, or fortunately, sometimes that needs to happen in order to really initiate other people into an awakening or igniting them into some form of ascension. Not that we're being difficult to deal with to do that, but that's just kind of what happens. Anyways, Pile number 3, we have the Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? And it's funny because with the individuality, I mean, the 9 of Pentacles is about luxury. And luxury doesn't have to be like the highest thread count on your sheets or anything like that. Now I'm like, hey, this is not an 18 plus reading. Let's keep it PG. But I am going to say that you just really enjoy the finer things in life. You prefer quality over quantity. See, I just slow that down. And perhaps I feel like you have slowed down the pace of your life quite a bit in order to embrace that stability. And my voice just really started shaking like an old person. So I wonder if maybe a lot of time has gone by between this, whatever this connection is, okay? Because that's what it feels like. But with the High Priestess, I feel like things are coming together. I feel like you're at peace with things. You understand that things will adhere and come together, or they will pull apart. And it's very similar to what you've managed to do with your own garden. So I don't think that you're incredibly in your head over things. Although we are here, right? We are in a reading. And so whatever situationship that you are talking about, we just want to gain clarity on what is standing in the way of this connection. Now, another thing that's coming to me is your independence can be a matter of contention. And should we, you know, bow down to that? Probably not. If people can't deal with the fact that you are independent, then that is another opportunity for them for growth, and also another opportunity for you to hold your boundaries or lower them as you see fit, whatever works for you. Now, how are you being called to step up and lead? I feel like you're being called to step up and lead, perhaps through your work. I feel like something through your work is going to really, with all the yellow, I feel like this is what's invigorating to you, what is elevating you, what's helping you even to earn that coin. I feel like you could be working late into the night. I also feel a vibe of like a perpetual student. You can actually be in some kind of scholastic program. I don't know. Maybe you're taking some online courses. Maybe you're going to an Ivy League college or community college. I don't know your life, right? But I feel like whatever it is that you are really allowing, even with the drapes open like this, I feel like you could be working well into the night, but also allowing people to see that, yeah, you're a craftsman. You are working and fine-tuning things. You're not afraid of hard work, to roll up your sleeve, to get really focused. Now, I feel like what could be standing in the way of this connection, and I know we're supposed to be focused on the solution right here, and I'll get to that in just one moment, but I feel like your intense focus on your job can be an issue. This chair is killing me. This chair is protesting all sorts of my time sitting on it, okay? All right, here we go. What is standing in the way of this connection? For pile number 3, I would like to know one more card for the solution. Trust in the niggle, okay? You already have a feeling. You already have an intuitive hit. I feel like you're starting to see that things are coming together. The more that you just focus on yourself, your energy, and, you know, I know that people are going to want to think, oh, that's so selfish and this and that. And I once upon a time felt the same way. But I feel like if you're not at your healthiest, if you're not vibing at your highest, then you are this is awful. You are caring for other people from a sick point of health, mental, spiritual, emotional, all of the things, right? So we really have to make sure that the same way that an athlete trains, that you are in good health and in good standing with yourself and feeling self-assured so that you can in turn care for other people. It's not other people first, it's let me be at my healthiest. And I feel like that's been a difficult lesson to learn, but I do feel like the clouds are parting. I feel like even this right here, you can be getting a lot of intuitive hits, a lot of messages about how things are really cohesive, even things that you, let me tell you, pile number 3, I've been in denial too, okay? But even things that you've been in denial about, you're like, oh no, this is, you know, this is not that. But I feel like you understand that this is that you're starting to let go of things that have been binding you down for decades, for generations. And that makes sense to me because I'm looking at these two people and I feel like this is almost like the other side being present with you. I feel like you have actually done a lot of healing for generational curses and things like that in your family lineage. Now, I understand that a lot of people that come to these readings are not going to be in line with that mode of thought and toss it out if it doesn't work for you. That's perfectly fine. Now, I'm just going to address for a moment those that do believe in this. I feel like you have been really focused on breaking those generational curses, and you're about to bring together a very healthy vibration, but you're breaking those chains. You're allowing new DNA, new thought patterns, new expectations, and new voices to be able to be present in your family lineage. And that means that moving forward, you're going to be able to see it in not only your life being currently and slowly manifesting, right, but in the lives of other people around you. I feel like even your tribe, your community can be affected by this voice and this dissolution of the old to integrate and bring through something brand new, something that's healthier and allows you, it allows you to be in your soft feminine energy. Now, to be clear, I don't read sex, I read energy, and we all have masculine, oh my goodness, and feminine energy. We do have positive and negative polarities, right? But I do feel like you have ancestors that are present right here that are really with you, and they understand that it's almost like she's holding her tummy, like she is bringing forward or brewing, if you will, or gestating, right, a baby in her tummy. And this could be like a new generational birth. And I'm talking symbolically, it could be metaphorically, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like you're having a huge impact, and the weight of this really won't be known to you until, I feel like it's going to be a little bit, but when it is, it's going to be so powerful that your actions cannot be denied. And I feel like people will start understanding you a lot more, and the sacrifices that you've made in order to reach this level. Anyways, I went on tangent. Sorry about that. But trust and niggle. What is niggling trying to tell you? I feel like you understand that if you take care of yourself, take care of your mission, because we all have a soul mission, and some could appear to be like really great and really big. Others could be appearing like really selfish, and this person withdrew and they're only about themselves and they don't care about nothing and nobody. And it could appear so many different ways, but keep in mind that you're going against the current. You're going against current narrative, which is no longer pertaining to you. Why? Because you decree it. You're like, yep, nope, not doing that anymore. Let's keep it moving next. We're into a new life, new timeline, new everything, okay? And I feel like you're connecting also with people on the other side that are really helping guide you through this. I feel like you could be finding your level of joy, your security, and your balance through this type of work. Also, now the niggling is telling you that things are going to work out in this connection, but I feel like what you don't quite understand is, sorry, that chair, oh my gosh. The niggling is really trying to tell you that this is going to work out not only in this connection, but for the greater good for so many, for a multitude, again, generational help that you are receiving and achieving. I feel like this is like the last finishing touches, not that we're ever done working or growing or developing, but it's the last finishing touches on something big that you've been working on before it gets, I don't want to say exposed to the community, exposed to the world, but it's brought forward into the 3D so that people can actually quite understand what is going on. Dun, dun, dun. Wait, postpone and say no. Look at that. So I feel like what this is stating right here, pile number 3, is that part of the solution is that, you know, this is happening regardless whether people want it or not. And it could feel really ominous, really intimidating to walk by yourself into the middle of a storm. I feel like you could have people like wanting to combat you over this or fight you or pull you by your hair. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to say that you're leading a lot of light to people, and sometimes people are going to be going kicking and screaming. It's not going to be easy, and that's okay too. Continue forging your path, and I feel like that is going to be made clear to people. Now, I'm looking at the priestess and with the no, wait, postpone and say no. I think that you could have another pause before things resume in whatever this connection is, okay? And that's going to be important to know that basically, I saw 1919, and what you're meant to know right now is that you're making progress. You're almost there, but there is another pause. So don't lose hope, because pile number 3, you've been working so hard. I want to tell you I appreciate you. And even if people don't say so, I feel like people are starting to understand. But also, the other side really is with you. And pretty soon, it won't be anything all by yourself. Now, pile number 3, we have Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah, this cycle needs to complete itself before Oh, hi. Before things settle back, and I feel like the way that what's staying in this connection is that you are a whole different being. You're a whole different person. It's going to be an entirely different connection, okay? It's going to be just wild to say the least. And this is what I've been talking about during your whole reading. Pile number 3, don't forget to please like, share, comment, subscribe. If you'd like a personal reading, go ahead and go to my Etsy store. I do have some available at the shop. Moving forward, we have is it Pallades? I can never say that word right. But we have a double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. And I feel like that's what you've been really focused on. I feel like pile number 3 is almost always my pile during my own readings, not other people's. But you could be drawn to like my pile 3s in general. And we wind up being like a little bit off the beaten path, conspiracy theorists. We're a little bit kind of wild and out there. Bringing through like unconventional ideas and thoughts and things like that. But also I feel like we could be probably the pile that's the most watched out of your, your circle, whatever that means to you. So that is what I have for you. As I said that, I was like, well, y'all know I only get like 40 views on each video if I'm lucky, and that's okay too. But pile number 3, I don't feel like it's competing with the Joneses. We're thinking, oh, I have to have all these views. It's who is viewing that matters, and it's really who you're affecting within your circle. It's that same idea of grow where you're planted. And when we're uprooted and replanted, that could be difficult, but grow there too, because whatever it is that you're doing, whatever phase you're in, whether you are deadheading, whether you're weeding, whether you're fertilizing, watering, all of the things, it's going to be important, pile number 3, not to dim your light. I know, look, let's bring it closer. Your reading should have been over like a while ago, but here we are. Don't dim to fit in, pile number 3. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? I feel like people are going to start to wake up, but you also are starting to wake up. I feel like in a lot of ways you are the leader, and you are having divine connection with spirit, and it's going to be on a whole different level. It's pretty damn exciting, I'm not gonna lie. So I hope that you guys are doing super well. Hope you're feeling well, and just hang in there a little bit longer, because you actually really do got this. Much love to you. Until we meet again, namaste.